Oh, hello. I'm not sure if anyone knows that I'm doing this, but I'll put it in the group. So, this is the second day of the challenge which is all about really looking at our health, de-stressing ourselves. And today is looking at the chakras and how they link to our health and blips in the health, and little blocks that happen and just some little clues, because it's an important part of my program that I develop so people can get to know more about that side of things. And I did that because I did a course a long time ago and it really helped me personally look into my health a bit better, look at what had caused certain blips as I developed. And it's a different way of looking at things and might give people little clues about themselves and their health, and it does kind of link with stress a little bit as well. I'm also going to do a meditation which links with the chakras and our spirit, so that'll be towards the end. I'm actually staying at a hotel. I've been to a difficult event today, a funeral, so difficult day, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm in London. So the chakras are 7 points on really that are between the physical body and the spirit body. They're known in the Ayurvedic system, which is from ancient India, as being very important with energy. And there is a certain flow going through the body, right through the chakras, down, and then back up again, and linking from the crown right through to the higher realms, if you like, and the cosmic, universe. So we can actually harness the energy, and people who do healing work are actually probably working with that as well, which is really amazing. So the chakras really, I talk about those in the program in more detail, but I was just going to do a really quick run through. So starting at the root, which is deep down, where the perineum is in women, and similar area in the man. And really it uses the colour red, and it links with earth and survival. And it's all about kind of surviving what we need to survive. And it links with Mother Earth really strongly as well. And it can also link with our mother, actually. And if we had a weaker relationship or something went wrong with our mother, then the root chakra is never stable, and it's going to take quite some considerable therapy work to get that sort of working properly, in my opinion, anyway. But it's actually a good one to really stabilise because it's so linked, to ground us and links to the earth. If we're feeling ungrounded, then the best thing to do is sit on the earth, and it's getting that kind of root area right, touching the earth if we can. Walking around in bare feet can also help, actually. Eating or drinking something. Say if you've just done meditation, you felt you were going really high, then to ground, eating or drinking can help as well. So then we're on to the sacral, which is actually about 2 fingers below the belly button. I can't see here very well, but about there. And that one is orange, and that one is creativity. It's looking at like creativity and sexuality, and it's good to have a flow there. Again, it's the 3 lower chakras are kind of dealing with the kind of lower things, if you like, to do with how we live and so on. But I say lower, it's all worked in. So the heart is between the 3 lower ones and the 3 upper ones, and that's a link between them all. And the solar plexus is the next one up, which is kind of the tummy area, and it's yellow, and it deals with the emotions and the will, and it's the seat of the will, very much so. And very often when I've checked people, with what I can do is a chakra check, where I can check how balanced the chakras are. I use really a pendulum, and often it's very frequent that the solar plexus is out of balance, and often with the throat as well, because if someone's will is supplanting someone else, that means the person can't voice how they feel properly, and you'll find that there's quite a connection there, and it can affect certainly organs in the body. in those areas. And then we're up to the heart, which is that one in between the lower three and the upper three. And the heart is like got the colour pink tinged with green, and it links to love, balance, and our circulation, really. And then we're up to the throat, which is blue, and it's about communicating and voicing how we feel and really projecting that out so that we can be heard. And in the program, I work with all the chakras, and even I've developed some classes. So one of them is about speaking, really, and saying how we feel and communicating. And that's quite a nice one to do. Next one is third eye, which is traditionally here, or between the brows there, and it links with intuition. It's actually the colour indigo, beautiful pinky purpley colour. Intuition, imagination, clairvoyance, and doing inner work, really. And you might sort of get that kind of opening a little bit if you do some work with the chakras. You can actually open it with yoga a little bit as well. And also you can meditate and it can open. But it's actually good to work with if you can sort of do it in a calm way and not open things up too quickly. What we'll do is the spirit meditation linked with the chakras, and it's a really nice, gentle way and calm way to do it. Also, then we're on to the crown, and that's about linking in with the higher consciousness. It's about spirituality, if you like, meditation, the higher self, as we call it, really, which we can actually learn to communicate with, and it can be incredibly helpful to do that. If you sort of think of ourselves as being in different levels, there's a higher version of ourself which can kind of communicate to the lower one down here. That's how I see it anyway, but it's very much linked in with the crown. And that was also the colour white or purple. It can be depicted as more often white. And it's about universal consciousness and developing our consciousness to a higher level, really. So you've got that heart linking the three lower ones with the three top ones. The idea is really to keep them in balance as much as possible. And I was going to talk a little bit more about blocks and stress and things. With the root, which is down below there, it can link with the earth and reproduction system, the intestines and the immune system. And we need to be grounded and not sort of floating off all the time, because if we are, our root could be, kind of out of balance. And one of the things I've done is attend fairs, and I've once or twice had a photo done, and you can actually see the chakras depicted. It's a certain type of photography called Kirlian, and they depict the shape of and size of the chakras. And now and again, mine have been out of balance, like my third eye has been very out of balance before now. And the idea is to work on those with, say, meditation. You can have Reiki, that can help. You can use crystals to balance, and we talk about that in the program as well. The sacral, that very much links with urinary, sexual organs and the lower intestines. And again, it's kind of about expressive creativity and an emotional flow and sexuality. And it's a good one to have open if you can. You can use also essential oils to work on them, and we talk about which essential oils help which chakra, same with which crystals help which chakra, and so on. Then we're on to the solar plexus, the yellow one, which is the seat of the willpower, and that's very much about emotions, and it covers like the stomach and liver area, and it's a really good one to keep in balance. I'm absolutely sure many people have that one out of balance. Because it can be, you can be overriding someone else's will, or we can have our will supplanted. So it's an important one. And I talked about people, if they're not expressing their own, wishes, then that one, the will and the throat might be out of balance. So then going back to the heart, very much about love, giving love and having love and keeping a balance there. And don't give out too much love, because you get sort of too out of balance with it. Be compassionate, but be balanced, and the circulation, is good, and so on. if we're giving too much energy away, then that's not going to be good really for the heart chakra. But it is good to open that one because it's often the key to kind of go further up. Hi Rachel, nice to see you. I'm currently in London and I'm just communicating quickly to go over the chakras really at the moment. Also, I was going to talk about grief a little bit because grief can link in with the lungs. So if people are in grief, they may have, or bereaved, they may have some effects on the lungs. And that's from actually Chinese medicine, but also it links in with the Ayurvedic system, I believe. Having looked at it, I did have quite a few chest infections after I was going through divorce at one point, and it really made me think the grief, is very much linked to lungs and linked to that heart chakra. And love issues themselves can affect the heart chakra as well and get it out of balance. So it's really good if we're kind of in balance. And even if we've got problems, if we express them, then that's going to all help with keeping in balance as well. And going up to the throat, which is the colour blue, and expressing ourselves, but being clear and concise and not verbose, but being concise with our expression and clear expression as well. And it can link with issues with the thymus, which is a gland around there, thyroid, and the ears and the mouth. So listening is a good one. Make sure we're in balance and listening. And if people lose their voice or they have a sore throat, there's probably an issue going on with that chakra. They might need to express themselves or think about clarity in expression or be heard as well. If you lose your voice, which I have done more than once, it could be a sign that you're not being listened to. So as I said, we can have the chakras photographed, which is incredible to see that, and even you'll see your whole aura photograph, which I've certainly have done before now. And different colours mean different things, but the aura colours do keep changing anyway. And talking about the third eye, which is there, really that one links with the eyes and very much that, as I said, like linking in with being clairvoyant or dreams as well, link in quite well with that. If that is out of balance, which mine has been, you can end up with nightmares. So it's a good one to keep in balance. And we do go into a bit more detail about keeping in balance using different techniques in the program. It links with inner work as well. And it links with the pineal gland, which is a tiny pea-shaped little thing further back. But apparently fluoride in the toothpaste is not that good for it, and it may dry it out. So that's what I've read. And staying grounded and being a bit less open. So I had a real problem with that one for some time. And I learned to kind of control it and reduce it down. So the scope of it wasn't too all over the place kind of thing. Some of these things you get to know over time. So it is, a case of practicing things like meditation, which really help and give us more clarity. And then we're on to that crown. So interesting one there is that as a baby, which has that little, soft bit there on the skull, that's the fontanelle, as it's known as. That's actually the very seat of the crown chakra. And it closes around like 1.5. So you have to be so careful not to drop a baby on its head. That bit's so sensitive. And it's funny that is the, is the link to universal energy, the cosmos and so on. And if you meditate, we can work with that crown chakra, and it can actually connect us with higher level beings such as spirit guides and even angelic links and ancestors and so on, if we so wish to, if we practice. And also, of course, in more practical terms, the crown links with the head and the nervous system as well itself, which is obviously all over the body, but very much linked in with the brain, if you think of it. And, an important one, obviously. Sorry, just to tell Rachel, who's the main person here, I'm going to do a meditation in a minute as well, Rachel, which links with all the chakras and It's quite a nice calming one. I'm on Wi-Fi at the moment. I think I'm using my own, whatever it is, you have on your phone. I've tried to connect with the hotel one, it wasn't working. So which chakras link with our symptoms? That was the task that I'd set today. We haven't got a load of people doing it, but sometimes people follow through later. For example, I've had lung infections and whooping cough as a child and chest infections. So that's very much linking in with the kind of heart and the lungs area for whatever reason. Actually, some of that was when I was really young. So it's quite interesting to know why that happened. Also sore throats. I've had a lot not quite right in that throat area, and losing my voice, as I said, not projecting it probably very well. Also ear infection. I'm just talking personally now, but it's good if you can have a think about which areas where you might get glitches, and once you know about the chakras, you start to see a bit more. And if you do the program, then we have two sections. The first one we do is actually free, and it's on my website, and that's looking at the chakras and how they link in with the hormonal system, endocrine system. I've just done it from research really, and how it links in with the systems in the body. And then the other one is at the end of the program, and it's more about looking at blocks on the chakras. So it's a good one to do, and more information about the chakras. I've also had problems in my left eye, or on the left side of my whole body. I cannot explain it. It's so weird, the left side. Now, is it Chinese medicine? I think that might be the male side. Yeah, there's a male yin and a yang, a male or female side, and it seems to be on that, possibly that left side, but linking in with the male side, I think. But why? I think there's something to do with the third eye and the left eye as well being linked. And also my left hip, which is the root area. And obviously that's the third eye. And lately I've had awful toothache, so I've got to get down the dentist. But I honestly think sometimes it's linked in with, well, I know we have decay and everything, but it can be linked in with the throat and expression and getting expression out and so on as well. And sometimes it's the thought of, another way of saying it is like psychosomatic symptoms. If you think like, if you're stuck, you've got feelings and they're stuck, it can cause issues in the body itself. If you do learn any form of natural healing such as Reiki, they will explain there can be blips in the aura. They're out here in the higher up aura, and it comes into the physical aura if it's not dealt with and expressed, then it can come into the body, and that's just one way of looking at things if it isn't dealt with. So they do say a lot of things is about expression really and communicating. The third eye, I think, as well, is about using imagination and to develop clairvoyance. Using your imagination is a good thing to do, and actually guided meditations can help us do that, and visualization meditation, which can be really powerful. And before you know it, bit by bit, you start getting things that come in and you think, well, where's that come from? That's not from me. And that could be your guides or ancestors, and very interesting, they'll give us clues about things, but that's just my experience anyway. And the sacral chakra, as I was saying, is about creativity, so it's a really good one to work with, and I really feel like this is a more creative time at the moment, where we've got like a breakdown in some of the systems that are there, and we need people to think creatively out of the box. And a big thing to do with to help our chakras be healthy is to express and to meditate if we can, and to create, because that's channeling energy as well, which is great. Another little insight I've got is, I think that if people have a stroke, they could have blown their top. Now, I don't know anyone to be offended by that. It kind of can be anger that's just going to come out through the crown, if you like. And really opening, I was going to talk about opening the heart a little bit more, is to open the heart. It took me probably years to realise it's something to do with compassion, a lot to do with compassion, and just going that little bit further. So that's another one about opening, because I could actually hear clairaudiently from guides, you need to open your heart more. I heard it so many times it was unmistakable. So kind of doing this type of thing, I'm obviously not getting paid hardly anything, and it's kind of putting in a bit of extra kind of work, if you like. So I've also got affirmations, which I might go through quite quickly. I'm going to do the meditation. Oh, great to see you, Rachel. I've been Billy No Mates yesterday doing the little 3-day challenge, but this happened last time and a few people saw it later, so I'm absolutely fine with that. Right, so I think we've got Wi-Fi at the moment, so I'm going to run through this chakra and spirit meditation. So if you want just to be in a quiet space and try not to be disturbed, I'll run through it quite quickly, and I will try and do the affirmations. What I might do is do that as a separate video, because we're going to, I originally said this is half an hour, so I don't want to run over. So relax in your quiet space, sit comfortably and breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth 3 times, in through the nose and out through the mouth, and gently close your eyes and imagine yourself in a beautiful clearing in the woods. The leaves are green, the birds sing, rabbits hop, and you hear water nearby. Walking slowly through a pathway from the clearing, you find a ring of darker grass and sit in the middle. You feel really grounded and in touch with nature and very happy in the peaceful place. You're feeling your red-coloured root chakra slowly spinning, and because they look like wheels, that's how they are, and imagine it being connected to the earth, and via the root at the bottom of the spine, this chakra is linked with the earth element. You feel firmly grounded in yourself with home and family. You are fully supported. Earth has your back. Then give your attention upwards to the orange-coloured sacral chakra just below the belly button and linked to water. It's also in the lumbar area of the lower spine. Feel it vibrate orange and feel a creative flow. You are happy with the warm orange colour which spreads in this area, bringing joy. You then give your attention to the yellow solar plexus in the tummy area as you feel the vibration and see and feel the yellow sunny energy glowing. Your will is really aligned with your spirit. You know who you are and balanced fully in the now with this strength and vibrant feeling. Then you move attention up to the heart, which is green with pink tinges. You feel great love and bliss and think of how you are loved and how you indeed love others. Love emanates from this chakra and into your beautiful aura. Your spirit lifts you up to the blue throat chakra. The V in the throat is the center. The throat chakra is a beautiful sky blue color. Feel the vocal area wake up, ready to speak your truth, to voice feelings. You may wish to project your voice later and recite poetry or sing to be heard and valued. Your spirit will assist. You then go to the third eye, the brow chakra, in the mid-forehead, and you visualize beautiful indigo, pink, purple, blue color. You feel open to see beautiful, harmonious things. Then finally you ascend upward to the crown and feel this as a white, royal, pure lotus flower, an opening which connects the higher self and higher consciousness. Breathe in and listen. Feel, sense. What do you hear? Feel, see, and sense. Wait as you feel your spirit close by and working with your physical self. Feel this great blending and connection to the Father Sky. So you link Mother Earth and Father Sky in beautiful balance. So when you feel ready, you slowly visualize walking back via the original path and find the clearing where you started, leaving the green circle for next time. Thank any guides, spirits, beings, elementals, and even totem animal guides who may have connected to pass you wise guidance and love. Feel and know you can return here anytime you wish, and nature, earth, the guides, elementals, and animals will assist. And slowly take breaths in and out, in and out, and feel yourself slowly return back into the room. And feel your physical body is present again, and move your hands, feet, toes, and sit up alert, opening your eyes slowly to see your room. And if you want to take time to record any messages, thoughts, feelings, emotions, or even draw anything you saw, sometimes pictures speak 1,000 words, and also drink water to ground you, and even eat something, being calm, knowing you are greatly loved. So I might include, hope that was good. Thanks, Rachel, for attending. Hope to include my positive affirmations probably tomorrow, and we'll work through some ideas about using intuition and some of the tools we can use for that, including things like crystals, center doors, and so on. What I will do is share 3 of my message cards for you to practice, just to see what you think yourself. What you would do is, I think what I'll do is choose 3, and then I'll get you to, tomorrow, if anyone's watching, to choose one and just see what the message is for it. So I'll read out the 3 messages. And that's kind of a very simple way of using cards, which I use quite often actually as guidance. Well, it's been a tough day. I met my son actually earlier, and we went to a funeral of a friend of his, which was really tough. And, you know, but it is one of those things, and it's quite good to come back and even do a tiny bit of meditation. I often watch these videos later, and I'll do the meditation myself. So thanks so much, Rachel, for watching. And anyone, if anyone watches this later on catch up, if you could just do, say hi or something and send love or anything like that, and do hashtag replay, that would be great, because that helps with the algorithms. We've got day 3 tomorrow, and I might well talk about a little prize I've got if anyone does all 3 days challenges. And because you can do them on catch up if you're in the group, you go back scroll down to the bottom, and we'll go through the little clues on intuition as well. And then I'll try to do something on Thursday. It'll just be a quick review. So thanks. Have a lovely evening. And what an amazing, beautiful day it was today, by the way. I mean, in the way of the weather. And hope it's good tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.